Welcome back to Tea Time in Paris. In today's video, I'm going to do a 2-year review of this Guibert Paris Allure bag. So this bag I've had for about 2 years now. I unboxed it on this channel. It was a Christmas present from my husband in December 2023. So this brand, Guibert Paris, it was discovered by my husband. I didn't know about the brand at the time. He told me that he discovered a Parisian brand that's family owned, that's equestrian inspired, but it's not Hermes. He thought I should check it out because he knew how much I liked handbags and good quality leather goods. So I actually went to the store and checked it out, and I met the owner that day because he happened to be in the store at the atelier working. I didn't have an appointment or anything. My channel was super small at the time. It still is super small. So on that note, if you like contents like these, I would really like for you to click the subscribe button right now. It doesn't change anything for you. It doesn't cost you anything, and you won't get any mass emails from me, I promise. So after I did the unboxing and first impressions video, I actually discovered that there is a fan following for this brand because there were people who don't follow my channel who would just search for this brand and this bag and have asked me a lot of questions. And also when I was at the boutique, I witnessed many other international customers who came to the store and talked about the brand with the owner and the sales associates there. And mind you, this store is not at a location that's very central in Paris, and it's not in a very touristy location. So the fact that these tourists went to the store specifically out of their way to look at bags from this brand just tells me that there is a pretty solid fan following for this brand. And I have also gotten requests to do a review now that I have used the bag for some time now, to talk about how the bag has held up and how it measured up against my expectations. So this is what this video is going to be about. Now let's first talk about the specs of this bag very quickly. This is in the Tyrolean leather, and for those of you who like Hermes handbags and Hermes leather, this is sort of like the Clemence leather. It's very rough, and it has really big, large grains, so you wouldn't have to be scared of scratching the handbag. I don't own anything in Hermes Clemence leather, but if I were to guess just by looking at other people's Clemence leather handbags in YouTube videos, I would guess that this leather is probably a little rougher and not as soft as the Clemence leather. I can feel that this is a very hard wearing, rigid type of leather, and you can also see that when I open the bag, there is a little bit of kind of crease up here already, and this has always been like this. It's not really a wear and tear, it's more the original quality of the bag. And this clasp here is also designed by a fairly reputable hardware designer. I think it symbolizes Guibert, like the G that's kind of locked together, and it also looks a little bit like the horseshoe because it's an equestrian inspired brand. What I like about this bag is that it's got an elegant kind of quality. When I first saw the bag in the boutique, I tried it on and I just thought that it looked super Parisian. It's got this je ne sais quoi kind of quality. It just feels like something Parisian women would wear on the street in their day-to-day lives, just running errands, going to dinner, going to lunch, having a drink, taking a coffee at the terrace. And this thin strap is just super elegant, like a Parisian woman. And what I really like about this bag is also the functionality. It's got a very roomy back pocket that I usually use to slip my phone in. You can also put your passport in there when you're traveling in the airport. And the inside is also super roomy. It's got an inside compartment that you can put something more intimate in there. You also notice that it's not leather lined, it's fabric lined, which means this bag is light as a feather. All very good quality for a day-to-day errand running bag. So now let's talk about the wear and tear after 2 years of use. So please note that I haven't been using it every single day. I go through periods of using this bag pretty heavily and periods when this is just sitting on the shelf. And for that level of usage, I think the bag has generally held up well. I can't say that there is real wear to the bag. There is no kind of corner wear, nothing that's coming off of the leather. Nothing is happening to the glazing. It's still very perfect. The only thing I would say is that I've noticed there are some scuffs on the leather, but that's probably because I've left the bag on the shelf without touching it for many months. But the good news is that I don't really have to be really delicate with this bag. I'm pretty sure that I can get these minor scuffs out of the leather. But one thing I noticed is that when I wipe the bag down once with a white microfiber cloth and the Cadillac Premium Leather Lotion, after I wiped it, the red color did come off and the white cloth became kind of tainted with the red color. So if you're wearing this with a very delicate white dress or white pants, I would probably be a little careful with the reverse color transfer, especially if you wear it on rainy days. Now, one thing that bothers me a little bit, which I also talked about during my initial unboxing and first impressions video, is that this clasp here, it doesn't close very well. It's supposed to be a magnetic closure with this button, but what I noticed is that you kind of have to line it up really well, you know, find the right spot for that magnet to really click in, which is not very practical when you're outside and you're trying to do this on the go. What makes it even harder is that this bag tends to kind of cave in if you don't put a lot of stuffing inside to keep the shape. It's not really a wear and tear issue because I think the shape has always been sort of like this. It's not a very hard kind of structured bag, so it's always going to cave in a little bit, and the more it caves in, the more it's hard to line up the closure for the magnet button to snap close. So that kind of annoys me a little bit, but not enough for me to not use it, because you can always just leave the flap like this and not have it really snapped close. I don't find it to be a security issue because I always use it as a crossbody bag like this, so it's always going to be in front of me. And if anyone were to try to lift the flap, which is a very big flap by the way, I would for sure notice. So I don't think it's going to be an issue. But if you are someone who likes to use this bag more as a shoulder bag, I think this flap issue would be more of a problem for you. And now let's talk about when I actually use this bag. So when I think about the occasions when I use this bag, it's usually when I'm going out with a stroller with my daughter and I really need my hands free and I don't have a lot of time to kind of dress up in a whole outfit with a matching handbag and everything, and I don't have time to do my hair, makeup, the whole package, and I just want to have this carefree style that's still pretty put together, sort of like what a Parisian woman would wear when they're not trying to impress. And I mean, a Parisian woman never tries to impress anyway, so this is just what lands right into that vibe. Now the capacity is one of the things that I really like about this bag, because this is sort of like a medium-sized bag, somewhere in between the classic flaps, you know, the small handbags on one hand, and the bigger bags like the shoulder bags and the big totes that I use to wear to work. Like sometimes if I want to go to a cafe and spend an afternoon there, but I would probably like to bring a Kindle with me, it can certainly fit, no problem. Look, very, very easy. And if I want to bring a real kind of paper book, no problem. And also, if I need to bring an iPad mini to do some light work, also no problem. and I can still close this pretty easily. So the capacity to bring these real items with me going out is definitely a major user case for this bag. Even for the Kelly 25s, even though I can also fit all of these items in my Kelly 25, I just wouldn't realistically do that because I don't want the weight to kind of weigh down on such an expensive handbag. I tend to carry less than the maximum capacity in my Hermes Kelly 25s. But for this one, because it's such a heavy use and very rough day-to-day kind of handbag, I have no problem carrying its maximum capacity. All right, so that was all I had to say for this 2-year review. Overall, I think it's a very solid handbag for the price point it's at. It's currently retailing for 395 euros. Let me just double check on its website. Yes, 395 euros. So it's the same price as what we bought it for 2 years ago. It's really good that they haven't increased the price in 2 years. Many brands have done so, and I wouldn't be surprised if they are about to do that. They also came out with new colors that weren't available when I got the bag. So for example, they have a new camel color that's sort of like a brown color, and then they have a pink as well, a light pink, which is pretty interesting. So be sure to check it out if you're looking for a very practical and very Parisian day-to-day handbag. That's it for this video. Thank you for sticking around. Bye now.